Sawadika. Welcome to Hot Thai Kitchen. I am back home in Bangkok, Thailand, and I'm going to remake an old video that I made a few years ago when I was back home in Thailand. We are making Ka Prao. Now, pat is a stir fry, and Ka Prao is holy basil. Delicious, easy dish, super famous, well known in North America. And the reason why I waited till I got here to make it is because right here in our place, Ka Prao grows like weeds. They're everywhere. And in Vancouver, they're a little harder to find. So we're gonna start by first picking Ka Prao right off the plant. This is the Ka Prao plant, or holy basil. Now this one's nice and big, so I want to show you this one, but it is an older plant. And in general, the younger the Ka Prao, the more aromatic they tend to be. So from this one, I'm going to pick sort of the younger leaves from the top and not so much the older ones. And compared to Thai basil, holy basil's got a peppery flavor, whereas Thai basil has a really sweet floral aroma. If you can't find holy basil though, Thai basil will be just as delicious. I'm going to start by making an herb paste, and it's simply garlic and chilies. So I'm going to start though, I have two kinds of chilies. I'm going to start first with the spicier kind. So this is Thai chilies or prikinu, and it's smaller, it's spicier. And the reason why I want to start with this, because I want to make sure this is really, really fine. If I start putting garlic and everything else in it, I could accidentally have a little piece of this, and then, you know, it's bad news if you get one in your mouth. I'm putting a lot because I don't think these are that spicy, and you know, Ka Prao, you want to make it quite spicy. So skin is fine. Chili skins are stubborn, but you don't want any, you know, big actual chunks of chilies in there. Now I'm gonna add some garlic, lots of garlic here. And I'm also adding a second kind of chili. This is prik chi fa, and I've just roughly chopped it so it's easier to pound. But the big one looks like that, and it's milder. It's not very spicy at all. We use it a lot for garnish, but in this dish, I like to add it so that I can get some chili flavor without the heat. So now you want to get this down to just a rough paste into our bowl here. And that is going to be the base of the stir fry. So the next thing I'm going to do is mix up the sauce. So I've got some oyster sauce right here. And to this, I am going to add some soy sauce. I like to add some fish sauce to this as well. I think it makes it a little sharper. And oyster sauce, soy sauce, and fish sauce is what I call the trinity of stir-fry sauces. These three in really anything makes a delicious stir-fry. To make the color a little darker, I like to add dark soy sauce. Think of it as like molasses plus soy sauce. That's what this is. And it just gives a beautiful dark color. A little bit of water. When we go to stir fry, it will need a little extra liquid, and also some sugar. If I don't add the water, I don't like to add the sugar because sugar will have a hard time dissolving in just like thick soy sauce. And that's it, that's the sauce. You can make Ka Prao with really any kind of meat you want, but the most common type is either chicken or pork. So I'm going to do chicken today, but I'm going to do ground chicken, and I'm going to grind it myself. For two reasons. I want a coarser grind, and also ground chicken is not exactly easy to find here. Sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't. So I've got here a mixture of chicken thigh and chicken breast, and I do that because, you know, this is what you can do when you make your own ground meat. You can customize your mix. Just cut it into small pieces just to get it going. And then with a big cleaver, you don't have to have a cleaver. This also works with a big chef's knife to start hacking. And once you've exhausted sort of the first part, you can flip it. And this is why a cleaver is useful. You take it and flip. And then you keep going. Okay, and you really don't have to get this very fine. You could even just do big pieces of chicken. You don't have to do ground chicken, so just bite size if you want. Other than that, I've just got some vegetables. So long beans I've cut into shorter pieces, and onions I've diced. You can do juliennes if you want. And just FYI, long beans look like this. They're longer in Thailand than they are in Canada, and they're bigger too. So, but if you don't have this, regular green beans are fine. These are a little bit crunchier and nuttier. I like these. Okay, so I am out here in my beautiful outdoor kitchen, and in Thailand this is quite common. There's an inside kitchen and outside kitchen, and the outside kitchen's for things that will smell and splatter and so you don't have so much cleanup to do. So in goes a little bit of vegetable oil, and then I'm gonna go in with my garlic and chili paste right away. You don't have to wait for the oil to get hot for this. You let it cook until basically the neighbor starts smelling your chilies and garlic. Okay, you're infusing the oil with the garlic and the spiciness of the chilies. The oil will be your vehicle to flavor everything else. Okay, and once the garlic starts to brown a little bit, go in with the chicken. And now you're just trying to get the chicken to not be in big clumps. So my family uses a stainless steel wok, but I really miss my carbon steel wok. Nothing sticks to that, but this works just fine. Okay, so now the chicken is sort of in smaller pieces. I'm going to go in with the sauce and get that mixed up. Ooh, yeah, it's looking good now. Depending on how you like your beans and onions, if you like them nice and soft, you want to add them early, so maybe at the same time as the sauce. But if you want them to be still crunchy and al dente, you can wait until the chicken is mostly done. Whoa, this stove is crazy hot. Holy mother. Okay, so now just until the chicken is done and the cameraman starts coughing, that's a good sign. Okay, now I'm gonna turn it off. And then I'm going to add my basil. I want to add the basil when the heat is off. Just use the residual heat because you don't want to cook the basil to death. It turns black, turns mushy. And you just toss it, and the basil will look like you've added too much, but trust me, after it wilts, it won't be much, and you really want all that flavor. And that is it. Look how beautiful that is. So now that that's done, you can just serve that with rice. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it into Khao Pad Ka Prao Gai Khai Dao, which means rice, Pad Ka Prao Gai with chicken, and then Khai Dao, which is a Thai-style fried egg. Let's make the fried egg. When you fry an egg Thai style, it's almost like deep frying. You want a lot of oil because a lot of oil will make bubbly, crispy edges, and you want to get it hot. In goes the egg. And it should bubble just like that. Bubbly egg. When I went to culinary school, they always teach that the French style, your egg should never brown whatsoever. And I'm like, no, I want it browned and crispy. If the egg sticks a little bit, like it is doing right now, usually once it cooks, it'll release itself, so don't rush it. And that's it. Once you have golden brown edges, you are done. Ah! And I should say that Khao Pad Ka Prao Gai Khai Dao is sort of a classic thing you would order at a street side restaurant, for a quick lunch, and that's why, it's kind of a cool thing to make. So I've got my cow, which is rice. Looks so good. All right, and then put your khai dao right on top. Ta-da! You want to season the egg a little bit, and a great condiment for that is prik nam pla, basically prik, which is chilies, and nam pla, which is fish sauce, spiked up with a little bit of garlic and also a squeeze of lime. So that's a mix that I like to use. It's good on everything. This one's not running anymore, but it's still sort of gooey and what we call yang matum in Thai, which means it's wet, but it's it's just that perfect consistency of moist and gooey. Such a great flavor. It's simple, but that holy basil really boosts it up, and it's got a flavor like nothing you've ever had. Again, Thai basil would be just as delicious, but if you can get a hold of holy basil, you really have to try it. So the recipe, as always, will be on hotthaikitchen.com. When you make this, send me a photo, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. I'd love to see them, and I'll include some of them in my monthly newsletter. And if you haven't subscribed to the show, please subscribe, and I will see you next time for your next delicious Thai meal. Hey. So